This is Jamie Drummond with Good Food Revolution. I'm here with John Retsas. How are you today, sir?
Good, thanks, Jamie.
We are here at First Drop Winery in the Barossa Valley. And I've been tasting some of the most interesting wines I've ever tasted from the Barossa. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Well, at First Drop we like to express sort of the essence of the Barossa and the essence of what we like to do, and sure, our wines have a lot of body and soul and a true expression of the district.
What do you believe the Barossa Valley brings to wine?
Look, the Barossa for us is a very important place. It's the home of wine in Australia, and I believe it's the home of Shiraz in the world. It brings a certain warmth and generosity to the variety and to all the wines we make. So not only is it, it's punctuated by its Shiraz, but there's some great old Grenache and Mourvedre vineyards in the district as well. And there's also some really cool new varieties from Australia that come in from the Barossa. So varieties like Tempranillo and Montepulciano, etc.
Now, you sound very, very Australian, but with your surname it sounds as if you come from somewhere else. What's your background?
Yeah, sure. My parents immigrated to Australia from Greece in the 50s and have a Greek background. We've always made wine at home. Wine's been part of, if you like, every meal. So as youngsters at the table, we were involved in underage drinking, but we were encouraged by our parents to drink a glass of wine. And I remember having my first vintage from my grandfather when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. So wine's always been part of something that is part of everyday life.
I mean, you maybe had that inherent passion for wine, but how did you start making wine?
Sure, pretty common theme. I think I dropped out of university studying at Flinders accountancy and got involved in wine buying and working through hospitality, then fell into winery management, and through that made wine and First Drop was born.
Now, please tell me a little bit about how you actually met your business partner here, who is actually the winemaker. You're the kind of, are you the brain or the brawn?
Well, I'm not the brawn, and I don't think I'm the brain, but okay. It's a great partnership. Matt and I worked together at St Hallett in the Barossa, a winery with great tradition and great heritage. And with wineries like that comes a certain amount of tradition, and we couldn't so I guess make the wines that we wanted to make there. So we, after a few boozy trips interstate and around the place, decided that we wanted to make the wines that we wanted to make, and started making, varieties like Albarino and Anise.
It wasn't actually Albarino though, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was Sauvignon, but we weren't to know. So we'll take the fifth on that one. But yeah, you're right. It just came about by two young fellows that wanted to make the wines that they wanted to make. And we still do that today at First Drop. We package our wines the way we feel we should package them. They all have their own personality, they all have their own expressions of flavour and taste, and that's what we do.
Where do you think Barossa fits in this whole idea of the new Australia? And where do you think your wines fit in that whole philosophy?
Yeah, sure. Look, we make wines from the Barossa in our Shiraz program, from the Adelaide Hills for our Italian program with Nebbiolo, Barbera, Montepulciano, and very importantly Anise. And from McLaren Vale we make Cabernet and Cabernet Touriga blends. But the Barossa is at the heart of our Shiraz program, and where the Barossa fits in Australia, I believe, is probably is the heart and soul of Australian viticulture. There's great districts in Australia, taking nothing away from the hills or the McLaren Vale or the Yarra, but I believe the Barossa is sort of the heart and the soul of Australian viticulture and the most famous wine district in the country, and firmly believe that the Barossa is the home of Shiraz in the world.
I really did feel that your wines were so different to anything else I had ever tasted from the Barossa. Where does all of that come from? It was quite fantastic to taste some of those wines that were so lifted, that had such vibrancy to them. very, very excited about your wines and looking forward to tasting them in the future. But where do you believe that comes from?
I guess it's our sensibility for the site and for the variety. For us, acid's really important. Making wine with high tone acidity and freshness is vital. So that lift that you're seeing, that point of difference, I believe, is making wine with great vibrancy and acidity and longevity in mind. And also, you know, it's a bit of a cliche, but I think making wine that's got food, in mind is critically important. So I think that's where we're heading to. Not to say that, you know, First Drop is the only winery doing that, but definitely I think there's a new generation of younger winemakers in the Barossa and Australia that are making wines that have food and vibrancy and longevity in mind.
Now, the LCBO had specifically asked that one of the things I did not include in these video casts was actually any drinking and driving. But we have to assure all of our viewers and the LCBO that you're in a static forklift truck. The keys are not in the... Oh, they are in the ignition. Take them out.
Not
The
anymore,
ignition.
no.
Yes, yeah. And we're in a very safe winery environment. Thank you very much for spending time with us this afternoon and allowing us to taste through your wines. We look forward to drinking many of them together in the future.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.